Regulator! Mount up.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the E so I can get some funk. Just rolling in my ride, chilling all alone. Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweet. All you skirts know what's up in the 213. I gotta grow up.
Childish. Hey y'all, my name is Shannon Ray and I am so excited to be back with you for another week in a brand new video. Oh, and I cannot wait to jump into today's topic. I think this is gonna be a good one and I really want to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We want to bring even more positivity to Beyonce's internet. A couple of videos ago, we talked about the art of the honorable discharge. How to let folks go, how to kick them out of your life in grace and in love. However, sometimes you just can't get rid of those little rascals. So what do? You build a fence. Maybe you are working with those who offend you. Maybe the people that offend you are your family members, actual blood, so you can't get rid of them. Maybe they're your in-laws, and so you want to make a good impression, but you still have to protect yourself from a few things. These are my top 10 ways of building boundaries, as I call them, fences, to help you keep those who can't be quite excommunicated at bay. Sometimes excommunication is just not a choice. He, she, or whatever entity is possessing them is just going to be a part of your life in some way, shape, or form for the foreseeable future. So these are the ways that I have best learned how to create boundaries that are healthy, that are in no ways disrespectful, but are absolutely mindful of my needs and what I need to do to build the life that I want. For some people, you're gonna have to build a wall. A big wall, no Donald Trump, but like a wall behind a moat, behind a bridge, behind a forest, and then a little gate, just to keep them, over there. Setting boundaries is not always easy. There are certain implications that seem to come up with that. I know that for me, there is the desire to not want to seem disrespectful, especially as someone who's like my elder, or not wanting to seem like I'm hard to work with. If this is someone who's at work. Essentially, we want to be seen as good people. We want to be seen as nice people. Nice is the easiest way to be, but I found that to be respected, I have to teach others how to treat me. And that doesn't mean it's always easy. That doesn't mean I always know exactly what to do, but you have to check in with yourself. You have to be honest about the way you're feeling, and you have to make the choice. Do I want to continue this? Do I want to keep feeling this way? Or do I want to take accountability for my life and how I feel? Setting boundaries doesn't mean you have to go about it being a jerk. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you even have like hatred or hard feelings towards someone. You are protecting yourself, you are protecting your world essentially, and so you have the right to make the choices that work best for you. I want to go ahead and get into the tips. I want to go ahead and talk about what I've learned, and I hope that this is helpful for you. So, my very first tip in establishing healthy boundaries is to first check yourself. What is it that's causing you those feelings of you needing to establish boundaries? Are you feeling disrespected? Are you feeling like you just don't enjoy this person's company? Their energy is off? What is it that you don't like? Is it something that they're actually doing? Is this a perception that you have of them? What is it that you're actually feeling? Is it discomfort? Is it annoyance? Is it someone is truly disrespecting you? Check in with yourself and figure out how you're really feeling. Is there some old grudge that you might be harboring? Is there something that you might have taken the wrong way? Do you need more clarity, more context around a situation? Or do you actually see a pattern? I want to be clear that you can establish those boundaries even if it is because of something that happened in the past or because you just don't like their energy. You are absolutely able to go forward in the way that you feel is right, but you need to be able to clearly communicate what those feelings are around those boundaries and why you're deciding to make the choices that you are. My second tip is to interrupt the pattern. So you've noticed a consistent behavior or a repetitive scene or scenario in a particular environment. You now need to be the one to interrupt that pattern. You have to remove yourself, stop yourself, don't engage, don't participate in something that you know is making you uncomfortable and pushing you past your limits. Regardless if you think so initially, you are playing some role in the toxicity, whether it's allowing it or simply staying in the environment. So you have to be the one to interrupt the pattern. You have the power to do so. This next tip I actually think is a bit of some of the hard part. You have to give yourself permission. Do not wait for them to disrespect you again in order for that to be the thing that gives you permission to make your boundary, to establish your boundary, to reinforce your boundary. Give yourself permission to do what you feel like you need to do to protect yourself, your peace, your sanity. You can make the choice right now in the moment of strength or clarity or whatever it is that is motivating you to go ahead and give yourself permission to establish boundaries with people that you feel you need to establish boundaries with, or to change a scenario or move out of an environment that simply is not conducive to your mental health, your spiritual health, or your physical well-being. Who waits for someone to treat them badly again and it's like, okay, now this is your last chance, okay? All right, we all do. Give yourself permission to move forward with what you know you need to do before that has to happen. I think that's such a silly, toxic trait that we have within ourselves. This is your last time, and then when that time happens again, we're right back at it. Do you remember that truly groundbreaking campaign they had back in the day when we were little in elementary school, when they were saying the most powerful words in the world that would make you never want to have sex or do drugs or, commit a felony? Just say no. You remember. But here I think it actually works. Just say no. If that person is calling you to go ahead and dump their drama, trauma, or whatever into the trash can that they feel your life is, just say no. Don't answer the call. Take your time to respond to the text, even if the read receipts are on. Say no to things and get used to saying no to things, because that is the way that you're going to show that you are serious about your boundaries. That is the way that you reinforce what you've said. That brings me to this next tip. Be very clear and very direct about what your limits are and how you plan to proceed. If they don't know, they're gonna keep repeating the habit. You're gonna keep feeling like your boundaries are violated, like your personal space is being attacked. I, for one, don't love being touched. If you are a close friend, I will reach out and hug you because I enjoy that. I know you, I trust your energy. But if you are a stranger just now meeting me for the first time, it takes me a little bit longer to warm up. Being very clear and very direct about that is something that has been awkward for me in past situations, but I have the right to say that. So sometimes I might see someone who I've met for the first time, I offer up the wave, I offer up the smile, because I want to take some time to get to know you, to get comfortable with being that close to you. That's important to me. Reach out and touch somebody else. Yeah. Not your girl. Do y'all remember that scene from the Jackson 5 movie, one of the best movies of all time, when Diana Ross had little Michael come on stage and she lost her mic, but she was like, reach out. I've been wanting to have that moment my whole entire life. The movie was bomb, but you can go ahead and go for it. Also, do you remember when Joe was like, get them towels at the pool? Classics. I love us. Okay, back to it. But this one is a very important one as well. There are no apologies necessary. I'm talking to you, my people pleasers, my truly soft-hearted, wonderful-hearted folks out there who don't want to offend folks. I am one of those people as well, but I had to learn that no is a full sentence, and I apologize is not always necessary. I apologize is not necessary when you are doing what you need to protect yourself. I apologize is not necessary when you are actually activating your right to live your life the way that you feel is best for you. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to have feelings. You are allowed to have likes and dislikes. You are allowed to be clear about what your needs are. Your apologies are important, but in this case, you have done nothing wrong by deciding to move forward in a way with respect, with kindness, to put limits in places where you feel that they need to be, to cause separation or add space where you need it. That is not wrong. You are allowed to do that. You are allowed to choose yourself. Please, if you don't listen to any of my other tips, please listen to this one. Do what you said you were going to do. Stick to those boundaries. Be sure that your behavior aligns to what you said you need. If you don't like it when someone is talking about politics, don't engage in the conversation. If you don't want someone over your house, don't invite them in just because you feel bad. You have to be the one to enforce your boundaries, because if you don't take it seriously, who else will? Yeah, no one. Nobody. You have to be clear and you have to be firm. You owe it to yourself. Remind yourself of your why. Boundaries are the fruit of self-love. Boundaries are a tool for safety. There is nothing wrong with healthy boundaries. So be sure that you are very clear about why you're doing what you're doing, because there are going to be times that it feels hard or wrong to reinforce them. I think setting boundaries is a learned skill. It's not something that we can all do, especially as we come across more and more complicated situations, more and more complicated relationships. So ask for help, whether that be the professional help of a counselor, whether that be a spiritual aspect on it from your pastor or from like your church mother or church father, mentor, whomever. Make sure that you're asking for help. Make sure that you have someone who's helping to hold you accountable for keeping those boundaries. Make sure that you're really talking through with someone what you're really feeling, especially if you feel yourself struggling, especially if you're someone like me who struggled to establish healthy boundaries. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I don't think there's an easy way to do any of this. Perhaps if you are starting something new and you're feeling very, very safe in that situation, or you're feeling like you're trying to create safety in that situation, maybe that is the best time to set your boundaries. I'm not sure. It's something that I'm still working through myself. I do know that it can be hard when you have established a relationship. It can be hard when it's people that you work with. It can be hard when you are really interested in keeping someone in your life in some way, shape, or form, but it just can't be as it was before. Establishing boundaries, I think, are very difficult and can be very uncomfortable no matter what the situation is. I think about work. I had to be very clear. I only answer and respond to emails and messages from this time to that time. After that, that is my time, and I have to pour back into myself. I have to pour into the relationships that matter the most to me. That was not something that came overnight, that I just automatically knew to do. That was something that came over time. That was something I learned from mentorship. So being able to establish those boundaries is so important to creating the life that you want. Boundaries, I think, are an incredible tool, and you want to use them in a way that doesn't necessarily have to throw everyone out of your life or create walls so high that no one can get in. But fences are good. Fences are good. There are great opportunities to still be able to navigate within a world that you still have to be in without having to participate in things that just don't work for you. So get comfortable with the discomfort, because it's going to come. It's going to be there, but you can use these tools to help you navigate through that. And I really do hope that it's helpful. So that's it, guys, and I hope that this is helpful for you. If you have any other tips to add to this, I would personally love to hear them. So leave them in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear from you. I would love to have you join our community. Have just the best week ever, and I will see you on Monday. Bye, y'all. You cute self.